indulging in emotional states, even a little bit, will be detrimental to your state of consciousness. No one is responsible for your emotional states. Only you can do this. No one outside is going to be able to do this. Taking 100% responsibility of your entire reality may seem like a burden or a daunting task, but it's actually where you are completely free. Because if you create everything up to this moment, that means you can uncreate everything up to this moment. That means you can create anything new you imagine. Being overly excited is the same as being overly depressed. It's indulging into emotional state. If we look at Stoicism, Stoicism is based on the law of impermanence. Things come and go, and everything will pass eventually. So there is no benefit in holding on to things that will not be permanent anyway. That's what it means to live in a non-attached state. And this will even go deeper. I want to go deeper with that, because Stoicism is scratching the surface. Stoicism, not reacting to your circumstances in a negative way, means being a creator of your world. If you stop reacting to the 3D and you step out of your ego mind identity, you let go of all the constructs that you have been programmed with, then you become kind of stoic as a result. That's where the philosophy is based on. If you take this even further, you can go into spirituality. So you have a whole world scientifically which is made up out of energy, frequency. This is science. And then you have resonance. If you say something resonates, something feels true, rings true to you, that means you resonate on the same frequency as that thing. This is important because all this is changing our frequency, our resonance. And being stoic in your approach in life means you mastering your frequency. If you become emotionally unbothered by your 3D reality, and you truly see that circumstances don't matter, only your inner frequency matters, then you start to resonate into your reality bubble the exact things that resonate on that frequency. That frequency is impersonal. It's just law. So when you are in negative states of being, and you might be depressed, or you might be overly attached or excited for things to happen because you falsely believe there's something outside to get, it's the same thing, because it's attachment to the 3D reality and outcomes. If someone is able to trigger you, someone close to you, especially in intimate relationships, there's room for growth there, because that means you have an attachment to their validation and you are not in your divinity. You are not pure consciousness in that moment. Being pure consciousness means aligning with the present moment and the present moment alone. Being pure consciousness means you embody divinity because you know there is no future and there is no past. It's all made up in the mind as thoughts. You become non-reactive to the 3D when you start cutting out toxic attachment-based modalities in your reality. For example, when you go on social media, does every thought that people say trigger you? Do they have power over you? Does what's happening on the tell lies and vision, do they have any grasp over your consciousness? These programs are constantly trying to infect you with their reality. They want their reality to merge into yours, so you give your divine power away. The same thing happens in narcissistic-based relationships. And the word narcissistic, I use very carefully, because labeling someone dehumanizes someone. And it's a term way too easily used. Most people are simply in egoic consciousness, and you become narcissistic when the ego is strong, very strong, and there's a sense of emptiness inside the black hole being. That's all a narcissist is. The amount of ego someone has determines how fearful someone is, determines how attached someone is to the 3D world, and to how empty they actually feel inside. So the more empty you feel inside, the more possibly narcissistic or abusive you become. So people with black holes in their hearts are actually the most poor people in this world, because they haven't found even an inch or a little pebble of self-love within themselves. Self-love also means to be who you are, finding out who you are. Observing the things that are not serving you anymore. The egoic attachments that are all around us, infecting our brains. Social media was designed to take you away from the present moment. And yes, I grew up in this from the time I was maybe 14. Social media was already there. And then things started to spiral out of control, because having a phone, even a smartphone, is a bait for indulging in egoic attachments. You get attention from each other. You get to construct this whole false identity online. You get to even people catfish each other, and they make up whole stories and lies about their lives in order to get that sweet validation. And the whole joke is you can get that validation within, right here, right now. And it has never been gone. You were always unconditionally loved by all that is. Creation itself, or you can say the universe, God, source, whatever. The words don't really matter. It's all the same. You are the only one, you, that has to validate you. No amount of things outside can do that, because you won't even perceive of them, because you are the creator here. Ego believes it is separate and it's a victim.